I'm Victoria Berlinski. Megan actually did some post-decree work for me for custody. Um, my last April, my ex-husband put his hands on my child in a very not okay way. And so then I ended up withholding the child from visitation due to my kids just didn't feel safe going, which ended up leading to a bunch of other issues. So I came to Megan and said, I need help with all of this. We ended up going to court due to that, for me being in contempt for keeping the kids from his visitation. And so throughout this whole process, I've had to lean on Megan to just kind of keep me grounded. She's done an amazing job at just keeping my head safe, like from me getting so stressed with all the anxiety and stuff. She's been an amazing person to come back to say, okay, now this has happened. Now where do we go from this? She's always gotten back to me in a really timely response, which helps in this kind of situation. I would trust her with anything I needed moving forward. And actually, we're still kind of going through it right now. So it's just helped to figure out what our next steps are to keep my kids safe, to keep them from feeling like they're the problem and it's all because of them. That's just kind of where we're at. And I needed somebody that was willing to go out of the state or out of the city of Omaha, and somebody that was willing to travel, because there was actually a lot of attorneys that I had reached out to and they didn't want to travel if it wasn't in Douglas or Sarpy County. So that was actually really trying for me, and somebody that was willing to take on the caliber of what was going on post-decree, because it wasn't just an easy, like, said and done case. There was going to be a lot of times where we would have to probably go to court or reach out to the court, or a lot of other things that were included in my case. And I mean, like I said, it's been a year and we're still going through it. And I have been able to reach out to Megan on the weekends and say, hey, this just happened. This just popped off. What should I do now? What will keep me out of more trouble? Just because this situation gets scary. It gets scary when you're co-parenting, and your kids are terrified to go. They don't want to go, but they're 10. So they technically can't talk to the judge and tell the judge or write to the judge. So I needed somebody like Megan who was willing to step in and say, Judge, this is what's going on, and have my kids' best interest at heart. Megan was recommended to me. I actually first came to Frank with my situation, and he said, unfortunately, I'm not taking on anything right now, but here's one of our other associates, and she's amazing. So I met Megan, and from the first meeting, she just felt like somebody you could relate to. With my previous attorney, it was very, this is what we're doing, this is blah, 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 now move on. But with Megan, she talked me through the whole process. She talked me through possible outcomes and where she would go from here. So she made it very easy for me to know what's coming next, what I'm possibly looking at, and what other steps we could take after my contempt was addressed to further this. Because for right now, it felt like I was in contempt because I didn't send them, but there was no way out of the situation we were in. They were still going to have to go with him, even though they were terrified. So she just felt like somebody I could trust. I could relate all of my information to, and know that she's always going to have my best interest at heart. I would recommend her to anybody that's going through any sort of divorce or post-decree work, like custody modification, because she does actually care.